Think about the last time you spoke English with someone. You knew the vocabulary. Your grammar was correct. But as you walked away, a frustrating thought hit you. Why did I sound so fake? Why did I sound like an automated voicemail instead of myself? There is a hidden trap in language learning that almost nobody talks about. It's a trap that keeps millions of brilliant, smart individuals sounding stiff, rigid, and distant, no matter how many books they read. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on a strange psychological truth. The exact methods you use to learn English are the very things keeping you from sounding natural. In fact, if you keep speaking the way you were taught in school, you will always feel like an outsider looking in. But if you make a slight psychological shift, one that we are going to break down together over the next 25 minutes, you will instantly close that gap. You will stop translating in your head and start speaking with true, effortless flow. What does it actually mean to sound natural? Before we fix the problem, we have to define it. What does it actually mean to sound natural? Many learners confuse natural English with flawless English. They think it means speaking at lightning speed, using massive vocabulary words, or having a perfect British or American accent. Let me tell you right now, that is completely wrong. Sounding natural isn't about being perfect. It is about comfort, rhythm, and connection. When a native speaker talks, they aren't thinking about grammar formulas. Spoken English is a lazy language. It optimizes for the least amount of effort required to share a thought. It compresses words, blends sounds together, and uses structural shortcuts to make the conversation feel warm and human. When you sound textbook, you create a mental wall. When you sound natural, you sound relatable. It's the difference between reading a legal contract and having a chat with a close friend over coffee. The root causes why we can't sound naturals. So why is this so hard? Why can't we just open our mouths and sound natural automatically? There are 3 psychological and structural reasons for this. Let's look at them one by one. Reason 1, the visual memory trap. First, you were taught to learn English through your eyes, not your ears. You spent years looking at static text on a page. Because of that, your brain built a rule. I must pronounce every word exactly how it looks on paper. But English is a deeply phonetic and rhythmic language. What you see is almost never what you actually say. Reason 2, the fear of being casual. Second, there is a psychological fear of making mistakes. You treat everyday conversations like a university exam. You use full sentences, formal vocabulary, and rigid structures because they feel safe. But in real life, being overly formal actually sounds unnatural and distant to a fluent speaker. Reason 3, over-translating in real time. Third, you are trying to build sentences from your native language and translate them word for word into English. Every language has its own unique heartbeat and melody. When you force your native language's rhythm onto English words, the flow breaks down entirely. Let me share a quick story with you that illustrates this perfectly. A few years ago, I met a highly intelligent professional named Marco. Marco had moved abroad for a major corporate job. He had studied English for 10 years, had an incredible vocabulary, and could write flawless business reports. On his first week, a coworker walked past his desk on Friday afternoon and said, "Hey, Marco, cracking weekend ahead, huh? Got much on?" Marco froze. His brain started frantically translating. Cracking? Like breaking an egg? Got much on? On what? He sat up perfectly straight, looked at his coworker with intense seriousness, and replied, Yes, the weekend is approaching. I do not have many activities planned. I am going to rest at my residence. The coworker blinked, smiled awkwardly, and said, Cool man, see you Monday. Marco was devastated. He told me later, I said everything perfectly. Why did it feel like I built a wall between us? The problem wasn't Marco's grammar. The problem was that Marco was speaking like a 19th century book, while his coworker was speaking the living, breathing language of today. Marco needed to stop performing English and start participating in it. Specific techniques for natural speech. How do we fix this? How do we move away from Marco's textbook trap? Let's break down 3 concrete, actionable techniques that you can start using today. Technique 1. Learn to eat your unstressed words. Natural English relies heavily on word stress. If you stress every word equally, you sound robotic. To sound natural, you must learn to aggressively shorten your structure words, especially the word to and. Instead of saying, I want to go and see a movie, you compress it. I want to go and see a movie. Let's practice that together out loud. Listen to the compression. Want to go and see. Try it with me. Excellent. Technique 2. Master content-based fillers. When native speakers think, they don't sit in dead silence. And they don't just say, continuously. They use filler expressions that make the transition smooth. This gives your brain time to think without breaking the natural flow. To be honest, you know what I mean? The thing is, instead of a long silence when asked a question, start with, well, to be honest, I haven't thought about that much, but it keeps the auditory line moving seamlessly. Technique 3. Trade dictionary verbs for phrasal verbs. Textbooks love formal verbs. Real life loves phrasal verbs. If you want to instantly sound more relaxed and natural, trade your formal verbs for their conversational twins. Let's look at how these 3 techniques completely change a real-life interaction. Imagine a friend asks you if you want to go out tonight, but you are too exhausted. Here is the textbook Marco version. I am very tired. I think I will decline your invitation because I must sleep early tonight. Now let's use our techniques. Compressing words, using a natural filler, and dropping a phrasal verb. Listen to the natural version. To be honest, I'm completely wiped out. I think I'll pass tonight because I need to turn in early. Look at that contrast. The first one sounds like a formal rejection letter. The second one sounds like a real trusting friend. That is the power of natural English. The journey from textbook to natural speaking doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with letting go of the need to be flawless. Allow yourself to use contractions. Allow your words to run into each other. Listen to the rhythm of the language, not just the definitions of the words. You have all the knowledge inside you right now to be an incredible speaker. Now it's just time to let it flow naturally. Thank you so much for investing these 25 minutes into your growth today with me here at English Elevation. Your dedication to improving is absolutely inspiring. Before you click away, I have a question for you. Which of the 3 root causes we discussed today resonated with you the most? Is it the visual memory trap or the fear of being too casual? Leave a comment below. I read and reply to as many as I can. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you see your fluency in a new light, and share it with someone else on their English journey. Keep practicing, keep shedding that textbook skin, and I will see you in our next session. Bye for now.